Tubby the Tuba is an animated feature film from 1975. This is directed by Alexander Schure. It's written by Paul Tripp and George Kleinsinger. And we have a voice cast including Dick Van Dyke as Tubby. And I had seen the short film about Tubby the Tuba before, but I'd never seen this. And I decided to watch it for Dick Van Dyke. And in general, I did enjoy it. This is about a tuba called Tubby, and he wants to find his own song. So he goes off on this journey and comes across this circus and meets some characters to help him find his song and also to learn more about himself. And in general, it's a sweet narrative. I think the story works really well, and I think Tubby the Tuba is a really likable character. I really like the animation style. It's quite soft and gentle. It's very easy on the eye. The animation style certainly was very satisfying based on what I look for, my personal preferences. The only thing I didn't love, and I'm going to contradict myself, I didn't love the voice of Tubby. I love Dick Van Dyke's voice. I love Dick Van Dyke. But I really struggled to look at Tubby and hear Dick Van Dyke's voice. It just wasn't the voice I was expecting from the character. And there were times when it didn't bother me, but there were times when I certainly felt like it doesn't seem like the voice that I was looking for this character. It just doesn't seem to fit very well. And for me to love Dick Van Dyke's voice and to still think it's not a good fit, to me says that it really is quite jarring. Now, you might feel differently. You might think that actually that's exactly the voice you were expecting. I think that's partly down to personal preference. But I think it would have worked better if Tubby's voice was... Now, maybe they're going for a deep, older voice because he's a tuba, but based on the character, the way the character is presented, I'm looking at the character more as if he's a child. So I think a younger, higher-pitched voice would have been more suitable, and I also feel like that would have been more relatable for the target audience. That's not to say that children's films or family films that are good for children have to have child protagonists, but I feel like having a younger protagonist gives a stronger element of relatability for younger viewers. So I just think for me, the voice should have been different. But obviously, the voice acting itself, absolutely fine. Of course it is. It's just, it doesn't fit very well. The rest of the voices, absolutely fine. I didn't have any issues with the voice acting across the board. But just the voice of Tubby the Tuba, for me, just didn't work very well. But the rest of it worked. It was an enjoyable film. It's a great story. The characters are really delightful. The animation's really nice. The music in it is really brilliant as well. So, all things considered, Tubby the Tuba was a brilliant experience. I love Dick Van Dyke. I don't like the fact that I don't like the voice for the character. But that aside, I still enjoyed the film. And needless to say, if it's the kind of film for you, if you're looking for a sweet, enjoyable animation, then I'd say Tubby the Tuba is definitely worth watching.